Alright, hey there guys, OFD checking in, and it is finally time to take a look at the new Spinnaker 49er class yacht timer that they brought out. Now if you guys watch my videos, you know just about a week ago, maybe a little bit longer, I did an unboxing video of this watch. So sorry it has taken so long to get this up here, but I kind of had a little bit of an issue with figuring out some of the functions on this watch. Being that it's so new, I didn't have a set of instructions or anything like that. So very much first look stuff here, guys. From my understanding, this watch, along with a couple of other variations of the watch, will be available at the Spinnaker website starting tomorrow. So like I said, this is the 49er class limited edition watch, and this is a yachting timer watch from Spinnaker. Sorry for the overhead glare there of the lights, guys. So yeah, really cool watch from Spinnaker. I'm really excited to show this, especially this limited edition model that they've just come out here with, or they're gonna actually release tomorrow. So this is a yachting timer, or a yacht-inspired racing watch, and actually it's in celebration of Spinnaker's sponsorship of 49er class sailing events, or sail racing. The 49er class is small, kind of a dinghy class boat racing out there, two-man, very grueling on the open ocean, and you know, needing a good, accurate timepiece and something that gets the job done and is resilient is kind of what Spinnaker did with this watch, and they kind of stepped up the challenge from the 49er class. Very cool watch. As you guys can see here, very bold colors. This is a, I guess you'd call it a rose gold case here on it. Definitely very nice. I'm kind of becoming a fan of rose gold. It's my understanding from talking to some of the ladies out there in the fashion world that rose gold is really making a big comeback out there in the fashion world nowadays. So, you know, I think that's a good thing and a good choice for Spinnaker to use on these watch cases. Plus, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to bring this up here a little bit closer so we can look at the kind of the case, the sides on this watch. You guys can see there on the crown, we do have the Spinnaker logo engraved very nicely in the crown, and on my model it ends up lining up perfectly. You guys have this anodized aluminum bezel insert here, which is done really well. And I will tell you that the numbers on this bezel are not just, they're not painted on. It appears that it was probably actually, you know, I don't know, maybe laser cut or something like that, and then the paint was inserted in there. This is a fixed bezel. It does not turn, so and I'll kind of get into what that's all about here in a little bit, showing you some of the functions on this watch. But it is a very cool watch. Now, it's a big watch, I will tell you that. This watch comes in right at about, now this is minus the crown guards, or the crown itself comes in right about 47 millimeters. With the crown, you're looking at a 50 millimeter watch. Okay, so it's a big watch. And then from lug to lug on this thing, you're right at about 52 millimeters. Overall thickness, because this is running a quartz movement, isn't really too bad at all. This one, when I measured it, came in just under 12.5 millimeters thick. So very cool there. So just kind of touching on the functionality of this watch a little bit. Now, you guys, I did not receive an instruction manual, but I do believe this is a Seiko quartz chronograph movement, and I guarantee you when you order one of the watches, you'll get an instruction manual for how to work the movement and stuff like that. And I will tell you right off, guys, I do know that the chronograph hands here are a little bit off, but any of these movements like this, these quartz chronograph movements, anytime you do a battery change or any kind of a major adjustment, that can happen. And anyone that I've ever had, there's actually instructions out there showing you how to do that, how to align those hands all perfectly. So I'm not really too worried about this on a production or a you know, merchandise model that they sent out to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the crown out to the second position here. And if you guys look down here at the 6 o'clock position, you can see the mode. Now right now it is in the timer mode, and while it's in the timer mode, I can push this button and I can set it for the number of minutes. As you guys can see, this chronograph center hand jumped up here to 1, so I just set this timer for 1 minute. You can set it for 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way around that dial, I can set it up for 10 minutes, okay? But let's put it at 1 minute right here, and I'll go ahead and push in the crown, and we'll get that started just so I can show you some of the function on this. Now, these countdown timers are for boat racing and when they get the race started and how much time they have to get to the starting line and stuff like that. So on this watch, they have, you can set it like we did for 1 minute. You can use a standard 5-minute, a 6-minute, or a 10-minute countdown, which you can also do. And when you do that, this second hand will coincide to the number. If you're doing 5 minutes, it'll come down here to 5. 6 minutes down here, and 10 minutes it's over here. And anything in between there you want to set, you'll put it in the timer mode there and do that. So as you can see, it counts down there, and as you guys can see up here at the top, at this little dial at 12 o'clock, you can see it counting down in conjunction with this hand here. So this would be when you're counting down to get to the starting line, let's say for a boating race and stuff like that. And this is what's really cool about this watch, is that because it has these alarm features, you know, not only are you able to look at this little countdown timer here, but once you get just past the 5-second mark to 3 seconds left, check this out. Kind of cool. It's kind of like your countdown, your starting line countdown or something like that. And it will do that for that last minute in any of the setting modes you have it. Once it gets that last minute, it'll count it down on here, and then at your last 3 seconds you will get that audible signal letting you know that your time has expired. Very, very cool feature. Also, as you guys can see down here, it has a standard chronograph function, and it also has an alarm feature. That's what makes me think it's a Seiko movement, because the Seikos have that alarm feature and on the dial, and I'm pretty sure it would set the same way to where you can set that with anywhere within 12 hours from you know, where your standard time is set. Pretty cool watch. And if I'm not mistaken, you can sometimes use those for a second, you know, a small clock or a second time zone, but I'm not, don't quote me on that. So over here at 4 o'clock, you guys can see this watch does have a little date window, which is very nice. At least you have it on there. But look at the, I mean, just look at the depth of the dial on this watch, guys, and how much they have going on here. The big applied logo. If you guys can see around these, see if I can get it close enough here to get the texture on that small dial up there at 12 o'clock on that frame. And then that same texture down here on the mode setting. It's just done really cool. On the inside ring there, on the chapter ring, you guys can see you do have your chronometer or your scale there for the chronometer on the inside. Very nicely done. The pusher here at 2 o'clock matches the bezel color, which is kind of a gray-blue. Really neat color that they anodized it with. Now, even though this is a big watch, let me go ahead and let me set it down here for a second, guys, and I will take off the watch I'm wearing now, which is it's a big watch in itself, the SRP, and I will put on this watch just to give you a show. Now, one of the nice things, before I put it on, I'll show you guys, look at how the strap on this lays and the curvature of the case. You can see it basically just goes right into each other, matches up with the case, and this is a very, very soft, supple leather with these lines in here that help it breathe, so it doesn't, you know, it doesn't cramp up on your wrist or anything like that. So I'll go ahead and put this watch on. Now keep in mind, guys, like I said, this is a 40, basically in reality with the crown and stuff, we'll just call it a 50mm watch because, you know, the crown is there. I don't know why we always measure watches without a crown. It's not like the crown's going to fall off. But, you know, even though it's a big watch, it wears super, super comfortable on the wrist. It really does. I think it's a combination of the soft rubber, the way it is curved here, and the case. It sits nice and flat. It does have some weight to it. It is pretty heavy, but, you know, it's not any heavier than like my SUN043 Seiko, my kinetic diver. So, and it definitely has some great looks to it. You guys can see the brushed rose gold clasp there with the Spinnaker logo on it, done very well. A little bit heavier brushing there on the middle where they've put their logo. And also, let me go ahead and take a second here and show you the case back on this watch. Now, this is part of the special edition. They will keep running this watch, but for a limited time, they will be selling it with the 49er class case back like that. So if you guys want the limited edition model, definitely go check them out as soon as they're available at the website tomorrow. So that you can pick one of these up with the limited case back. The other ones have just a standard Spinnaker, the sail, the full sail logo on the case back and stuff. But I think this is definitely a special one just because it's got that you know, that heritage, being that it's branded with that 49er class logo there. So very cool watch, guys. Very neat new offering, some Spinnaker watches. Go ahead and check them out there. This is a really new one from them. I think the release day is May 2nd is what I'm pretty sure of on that. But definitely go check them out. I will leave a link to the website in the bottom. And remember to use the code OFD30 at checkout on any watch that you see at the Spinnaker website, because you will get a 30% discount if you use that code. That's OFD30. Alright guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you have not subscribed to the OFD channel, please do. Please do.